This is Miracle Healings, and I am Leslie Williams. And if you are an immigrant and you have wondered so many times if you took the right decision when you decided to move to a new country and started your life from zero, today's episode is for you because I have with me the beautiful Kristen Lee. Kristen, welcome to the show.
Wow, thank you very much. It's my honor for you.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you in the show because I think not only the story of your mother is very inspiring, it's who inspire you, your story as well, and everything that you went through. And I think there's a very good word, which is resilience, right? To everything that you went through in your beautiful story and your mother's story that are here to inspire so many others. So can you start to share your beautiful story with us?
Yeah, sure. I immigrated for 1977 from South Korea. That was I was coming from age 14 with my siblings and my mom. My daddy was already here. And then I started off from the high school in Los Angeles, California. And then, it was just totally a paradigm shift. Where I come from was Southeast Asia. And this is just different, totally different cultures and economics. And it's just, everything was just totally paradigms. And then it was great before because we try our best to adopt the culture here. And then everything was curiosity. We're just really excited to be here. But we had a lot
Right.
of adversities, English barriers. And then, of course, um, I don't know how to say, but when you come to the high school, I mean, I was shocked. They would give you free lunch
Right.
ticket, and they'll give you, they'll give you, the classes like a
Right.
cook. All you have to go to class for whatever that you want to choose. It started from here was high school.
Right. And did you speak any English when you guys arrived?
No, not at
So
all.
you were 14 years old. You arrived and you arrived straight to high school without speaking any English. And
No, not at all.
how was that?
Oh, it was so humiliated. I'm gonna be honest with you. And it was just so much of a demanding that I was in a hurry to become like American kids, native kids, who they can speak their English like their mother countries, like I speak Korean. But I could never catch it right away. You take the time, right? So it was humiliation, and then it was a lot of the adversity, and then it was more of the learning process. But the problem was that I have with my sibling was that we want to get this thing done today so we can adapt it into the peers, because there's the peers, right, from the students and groups and communities in the school. So we were very busy to adapt as they then it's like, oh, you it's like we don't want to be a part, you know how that feels. and, and then it was exciting, it was fun because we were preaching with my brother, and we started from ESL, and English teacher Mr. Austin was always calling us, and you should see this, you should go this with the typewriter to go to English second languages from the above level 1, 2, 3. So,
Hmm.
it was gracious that we have done. We follow the rules and directions, but there were a lot of turmoils in the time because many immigrants from Asia and maybe even Europe or any other country was coming 1970s, I believe, and or one of the family were there. But then it's like you couldn't fit in there right away with the peers, you know. It
Mm-hmm.
took the time, so we couldn't have friends like we want to have a friend right away because I felt like I was lonely. But I was grateful for it because I love to read a book. So I was part time working for library and reading the books and became bookworm. But same time,
So,
I was
this is so wonderful, this example that you're bringing, because I'm pretty sure that must be a lot of people who are going to listen to the episode that have children, probably kids, they are teenagers, they are coming to not only this country that we live in the United States, but also other countries, and kids, teenagers that are going to listen to you, and all this example that you are giving, that even if you had all the trouble with the language and to learn, so you didn't know any English, you had to learn what they were teaching in high school without knowing the language, so that was also a barrier for you to make friends, so you felt lonely, but then you found the books, right? You were able to transfer all the let's say the dense emotion of not having friends at that time to finding healing in the books. What
sorry.
beautiful example.
Oh, right. Thank you. It took about 45 years to do it. I mean, I didn't. It took about 3 and 7 years to write the book because it was started from 2017. But for 40 years to thought about it because I'm now, it's been 40 years now, and it's been like 1977 to back in right now, and it's 2021. I mean, yeah. I mean, I decided to write the book because it was a calling for my mom, and then it was so fond of the passionate for my mom, and it's a love story for my mom from my deep in my heart, and then she has left this earth already 20 years ago, but she has to sacrifice for me and my siblings to to serve the Jesus Christ, to serve the God, and become who I am here to be today. So I'm always loving her. I miss her. So I decided to write the book because we
So you
have this.
decided to start to write you decided to write a book for her when you were really young. You just
Yeah,
did it. You finished your beautiful book now. But
right.
that's incredible that you had all these years, this beautiful desire, and inspired by her, everything that she did for you, and being so brave, right, to be in this new country, and have all these challenges that we have when we just arrive to a new country, but have God, right, have faith, and give
Abso-
that example to you.
Absolutely. And then, I mean, it's like, so everyone has mom, and then I have mom, you have mom, everyone has mom, but for me, my mom was more of the special for me because she was almost like a single mom. My daddy was absent most of the time, even he immigrated us, and she has to doubly sacrifice because she has to play my father figure and mother figure when she was very sick. And still, she would not give up. She would serve the Jesus Christ. She was a prayer warrior, and she will always be there for us with God working through the faith. So I seen that, and then I go, wow. I mean, most of the women, I seen maybe they'll give up or they'll look for something else to idols if there's no answers. But she was one of the kind of warrior that who served the God and same time for her family, her her children and his countries, and whatever that was, and it came to speed of my book. I said,
So, would you say that this resilience that she had, and the faith that she had, and the the fact that she, even with the adversities in life, she will keep the strong faith and love, right, for God, for everything that she believed, inspired you when you had your difficult times? How that happened to you?
so, well, I was kind of lost, for a while when I was a preteen and high schools and came here for 3, 4 years later. I was kind of lost, and then I did not follow my mom, you know, um, her guidance, and I kind of like being outside of her guidelines, and I was becoming rebel. I was a loser for a while. I gave her a hard time, and then I confessed that I was wrong, and then I go, oh my gosh. I mean, how do I do that when I think my mom is not with my father, left to her, and then we're looking at this financial stress, and she is sick, and she's praying. She's just doing her best to make that have some food on the table, paying the rent, then immigrate from another country, South Korea. But I'm still her daughter. How can I be such a loser, like not following her directions? So I was convincing myself and disciplining myself. One day I said, I'm gonna do my best to be her angel daughter, dad. I got 3 jobs. I got 3 jobs, and I was working hard. I mean, I dropped the high school and I was working for dry cleaners. I was working for donor's shop, and I was working for cashiers also. And I was continue working and working and working. I got fired. I don't know why I got fired many times, but anyway, but anyway, I got fired many times, because I was dumb, and whatever that was, I couldn't follow the directions like cashiers. They teach me what to do, but I just couldn't follow right away because I have a learning disability or
So
ADD.
you, and
Yeah,
you
so
kept going. You kept going with all this. Amazing.
I mean, so this is why I'm so grateful for you interviewing me today. Thank you so much, Leslie, because
Mm.
life is not 1,000 years. Life is only just one. And then we all need to know, and I know from my mom's teaching, from my Bob Proctor's mentoring teaching, they're saying that life is only one, and don't have to give up. Allow yourself to move on because it's you're the one who's making it hard. You're the one who's on the way, So move on.
Yes.
But not other second chance you're gonna come back and make it up. Only one. So I got that lesson.
No, I think what you just said is so good. Um, we put ourselves in our way,
Right.
literally, and that's, as you said, life is just one, and if we can just appreciate it and then move ourselves from our way, in a sense that just keep trying to figure out how can we improve, how we can get better, and and learning from the adversities, and being grateful, as you said, being grateful for the adversities. And then once the ball starts to roll, like it started with you, right? You were fired, and you didn't even know why, and you were fired again, and then you would keep going, and then you learn from that experience. But and you just kept going, right? You kept, resentment, and just,
Oh,
right. And then look at you.
well, because it's the journey that becomes who you are. which is very important. Because if you don't allow yourself maybe side a track and say, oh, I'm just a loser, I don't think I'm going to make it happen, then you're forever that person. But if you recognize that yourself, allow yourself that making a mistake is just a learning process. It's not because you're dumb. I used to thought myself I was dumb. I find out I'm not actually, I'm more than a, person I thought that I would be. I find out I have a power in me that God has given that I can use it, unlimited potentials out there. And
And what
I
is this power? Can you describe to us what we would do, what you call this power, what it is?
So, like Albert Einstein said, there is a power in us that not many people recognize and use, which is intuition, number
Yes.
one. And
Yes.
number two is a willpower. And number three is memory. And memory, everyone has a good memory, but some people said they have bad memory. No, we all have a good memory. We're just telling ourselves we have bad memory. We don't have to do that. And we have an imagination. This is different. The monkey or any other animals listed states they don't have the imagination that God has given. So human as me, I have imagination. I don't have to be controlled by the outside of the world because
Yes.
I live my imagination. I live in my dream. We do live in our dream. You don't have
Yes.
to unlimited. I mean, you have unlimited potential that you have imagination. You're living in there, you stay there, you are that person. And convict to yourself, determine yourself that your dreaming is coming true when you imagine it, and that it will come true when you believe in that you are the person. So this is
Yes.
very important. And the last one is reason. Reason is very important because reason it's the reason why I'm doing this. It's the reason why determination of I'm getting up in the morning. I feel so great. So I'm self motivated. You're telling yourself to the mirror, I love myself. I am the person. I will do this. I am disciplined and life is once and then I'm a winner. And this is a reason. This is a power that God has given, which is six,
Yeah.
six gifted, what do you call this? Six gifted inner voice power that many people don't recognize. And many magic
Hmm.
people don't even want to acknowledge that we do have it. How do you see?
Yes. So one thing that I think it's I can miss is you kind of created your own method and right to put all this together. So have intuition, which is follow your gut, right? Have the imagination to create and be unlimited, as you said, right? Forget about the world outside. Don't allow the
Yeah,
world to control you. You control your life when you start to imagine and create it. And
right,
then the reason that you mentioned, I think also I love myself, and the reason why I love myself, the reason brings you to the cause of why you figure out why you love yourself, why I love myself, right? And that's all together is like it's a recipe for success, right? So look at you, you're a beautiful woman. You have a very successful business after all that you went through, ever being fire,
oh
ever
my God.
arrive in this country without even
I
knowing
will,
to speak the language. So beautiful.
thank you, Leslie. Yeah. So it's very, I believe that the reason why I wrote this book because I want nowadays many people, the new ages of the children, that nothing's going to change. Whether law of attraction or law of
Yes.
working is not going to change. Whether you are millennium, I'm sorry, or the internet or the we're going to the moon or we're flying up the air. But law of the law was the same as 2,000 years ago when Jesus died for us, then even now, and it's going to be that way. So my one message is to this listener or the kids, which is that let's really give a respect and love to your mother, your parents, because without them, I mean, without their sacrifices, we won't be there. We are not here because
Mm.
we are the product of them. But then, same time, we have to continue study and learn and grow and change our paradigm to become the love that what you love to do, and then create your own economy, create your own life of destiny, and enjoy your life. Because, like I said, life is not 1,000 years. It's only it just blinks your eyes like that. So
Mhm.
that's what that's my message.
Yeah, it's a wonderful lesson. And throughout the process of writing the book, when you really started, was that a process that helped you heal as well? It was like a healing process writing to you?
Yes. To be honest with you, Leslie, I cried a lot when I
Hmm.
was writing this book. I because it brings you all the memories, right? The
Right.
memories from ever since I was born to until she passed away. Then I'm here without her, but I'm still, moving on with life, which is grateful for. I cried a lot because every time I put my pen on the paper, write about this story, my I mean, my tears would just drop from my eyes because what I did was when I was writing this book during the pandemic, I got up like 5 o'clock in the morning, because I want to like
Mhm.
at least spend 1.5 hours by myself to
Right.
write this book to finish it in certain day because I had a goal to publish it, and 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 that's what happened. I mean, I went to garage in my car because I don't want to get no disturb from my dog or my family. So, and writing it, and it was a determination with a lot of the yeah, yeah, it was a big memory that how much you loved her, and the time we went to church together, and she didn't know how to read because she didn't have any education because of the where I come from was colonized from the Japan a
Mm.
long time ago when she was young, and so she didn't know how to. She didn't get no education. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I had
Mhm.
to read her Bibles, and then she loved it. And then sometimes, what? I was willing. I told her, "Oh, I don't want to do it today. Can you give it?" And then took about maybe 2 3 weeks, and then I was bad. So those kind of bad memories hurt me that why I was so bad. And yeah, but it really displayed me more of the person who I become today as an international bestseller when I wrote this book, saying that
Yeah,
it's a memory, it's the loving memory. Yeah, absolutely. I
yeah.
think that,
Just the writing process, because as you said, yeah, you got a pen and you were waking up at 5 o'clock, where our brain waves are very slowly. We don't have anything in our minds. A very good time to write, right? To get inspired, but also this process help you to release all these emotions, right? And the grief, and also everything that was attached to the whole history. And it's definitely a very good way to heal writing, right?
oh my God,
Because it was a book and also kind of a journal, right? Because
I
so
mean, actually, you got the point. That's true. It was a healing process too. Thank you so much. Yeah, it took me a long time for me to forgive my father, who used to beat up my mom just to going to church, this and that and that. He was actually his father most of the time. But it took me a long time to forgive him. But you're so right. I finally listened during the process and I send in the love and you're right. That is very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and forgiveness also, it's another aspect of healing, right? So
Yeah.
when we are able to forgive others, it's a way to learn to forgive ourselves too, because then we develop more understanding and compassion, right? And trying to understand, okay, we are all human beings in this planet. We all have our stuff, right? So if I can understand that someone else also
Absolutely.
have their
Absolutely.
stuff, right?
Absolutely. You are right because forgiveness is really to myself. You know, you're right. Forgiveness is is not for the person that I have not forgot. So I'm forgiving you. So I'm moving on. It's actually for my energy. I'm
Yes.
sending my beautiful energy to the universe. That the vibration I'm sending is that I'm okay. I'm releasing it. I learned the lesson and it's all good and I'm moving on, That forgiveness is for everyone
Yeah.
and especially for you. This is why you're healthy mentally and physically and
Yes,
if you don't do
absolutely.
that, it's why
Yeah.
because that circle is just commoid and then you got sleep and all that.
Right. And I think you have a ability, incredible ability, and this is very, I love this part of your story, the forgiveness, because you went through so much, right? And you, knowing you, I know that you never had resentment towards, you just understood that people were living their lives. If you got fired, okay, you move on, right? And you were able to have this forgiveness and understanding, and and kept going in a new life, in a new country, and but not having resentment. And I think your example, it's so wonderful for so many people that are starting a life right now in a new country, as we mentioned before, right? And we go for stuff, right? We know
Yeah,
we did it. We go
right.
for stuff, but if we are able to understand that and forgive and just move on, it's so free. We
Yeah,
become free, and I think your example, it is gigantic when it comes
yeah.
to this, because you made yourself free from so much, so
Mhm.
many dense energies like resentment, anger, and all that, and you just kept moving, and you forgave people, and you move on.
Well, actually, I'll be honest with you. I used to be a loser. I used to blame a lot of people when I was young. You know, I, I mean, like if I get fired, I said, "Oh my God, what was that I did wrong?" I was always blaming on my previous boss and customers there who gave me a hard time, or my siblings, or even my brother, or even my mom. Sometimes even my dog. I used to blame them, and then it's never my fault. I'm the puggy one. I mean, why would they? Like that was so ignorant coming from. And then I had to get that in hard way, and I had to learn that very, very. I don't know how to call it, but um, I had to get the lesson very, 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 many, many times of
Right, but you learned, right?
I well, I
You
was I
Yes,
had
and
to
it is a
learn.
process of healing, the learning. You learn that feeling resentment and blame others, and blame, oh, it's my mom's fault, it's my dad's fault, it's my brother's fault, wouldn't do anything, right? You
No, it's
learn.
all about me. It's me who I'm the one. It's not no one else, but I'm the one who's responsible for my life and my
Yes,
situation,
responsibility.
my thought and my decisions and my whatever that's going on around me or my life was me. It's me.
Yes,
I have to be honest with myself.
yes,
It all starts from how honest with yourself, bottom line, then your life will move on. That's the
yes.
whole truth, nothing but the truth. Nowadays, how I got that, I learned it hard way. Because if you're not honest to yourself, and then you're blaming, starting to blaming on somebody else, it's never gonna change.
Right, because you're gonna keep in that
Okay.
circle of energy, right? It won't help you to move forward. But if you take, when we take responsibility, I think it's another wonderful aspect that you were bringing. When we take responsibility, we move on. We are able to move on, right? And then we let the things go, and okay, we leave any emotions that we have to deal with at the moment, but taking responsibility is crucial,
Yeah.
right, to move on. And that's what you did, right? And then now you have a wonderful business. Now you teach others. You have a university. You want a university that you can teach others. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Right. And then I am also the what do you call it, personal growth dynasty dynasty coach from Peggy McColl. I just got certification from her last week, and I'm very grateful for it. So because of the more of the failures I had with the black belt that became who I am today, and I can see the people when where they come from and then what has to be tweaked and what has to be done. But it's nothing emotional against them or anything, but because I'm resonate with them, I understand them and I feel them. It starts from there. So what do we need to do? We just need to be disciplined and study about ourselves, understanding being who I am. Because what most important is who I think, who you think who you are. Your self image is starts from your root of your self image. Right.
Yeah, yeah, it's and it takes, it's a journey for us to understand who we are, and it's definitely a journey. But if if we are
Oh, we
able
do,
to
right.
allow ourselves to be okay in this journey, and as
Yeah.
you said, taking
Yeah.
responsibility and get to know each other,
Yeah.
we will unfold to something better and better and better, and this is beautiful, right?
Because actually you just said it right, because your self image will find you no matter what. You know, no matter what, your self image will find you, because it is what it is that you can never deny who you are. It's gonna come to you in your life.
Yes, yes,
It's just gonna say, how do you see you is very important.
yes,
How, because I am not the person who you think I am. I am not the person who I think who you think I am. I
right.
am person I think you think I am. This is so important. I had a real hard time getting it. And for me to get that, it took a long journeys of study about being who I am, understanding being I am, because if I don't understand myself, I can never understand others, because we're supposed
Yes.
and then we're supposed to help each other. So I'm grateful for today that so many mistakes, so many fires,
Yes,
and so many of the
exactly.
adversities and it was on my life. I'm grateful for it because I have never give up in faith in the God.
Yes, and you have learned, right? It's if, as you said, if we embrace learning to embrace our stuff, right? The things that we need to improve with love and gratitude, and say, oh, okay, this is teaching me this lesson, right? So I gotta change this inside of me, and I learned the lesson. If we can understand that these, what we call our defects or whatever, right, or
Also,
imperfections, are our best tool to improve and grow, like you did.
well, you humble me, Leslie, because there's so many people around me that I'm surrounding with. They always learn to grow and How can I do better today?
Yeah.
Where is my future self in 3 years or 2 years? Who am I going to be? The person I'm going to become in 2 years later. Those are the people who you're hanging out with, who you surrender, what books are you reading is going to characterize who you are. So especially nowadays, I mean, you have to see, re-examine your life, who you surrender with, who are you five of the people that you are hanging out with on the phone or the book that you're reading, does that make the person that either to be for your characterized in 2 years, 1 year, or something like that? We need to
Right.
re-examine it and review it and then start it from there because I've seen people and I was like that. When you talk to the people and oh, I didn't know how come already 1.5 year pandemic has gone. I don't even know what I have done. You know why? I know that. You didn't have your purpose. You didn't have your goal. It's so important because,
Yes.
like I said, I had a purpose in pandemic. During the pandemic, I said, I'm going to write this book and finish it.
Yeah, that's the word purpose. You had a purpose.
Exactly.
Finding the purpose,
The purpose.
right?
That we're going to be drifters, right? And the time will just fly out and you find yourself you're 50 or 40 or maybe 80 or 90. What have I done? I mean, nothing. My
Yes.
book not doesn't telling me anything. What's the results out here is just nothing. But I'm not saying it's bad or good, but that was your decision. So we have to always telling our purpose. What is our what is our goals that we're going to move on every single day? What do I love to do to help
Yes.
my or to move on, and dedicated
Yeah.
your life, right? With it.
Yes.
What you have, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, many people. So I had to go through all that, but I thought about it and then I go, oh, this is my purpose. This is the university I want. I'm going to write this book and made it as an international. And then it did happen. And then now it's moving on to the movie. So it's really good.
That's wonderful. So, can you tell us a little bit more about the university as well, apart from being a writer and write this beautiful book dedicated to your mom? You own a university, right? So, can you
Right.
talk a little bit about it?
Yeah. So this UN University established in 1977 when I came to the United States 14 years. Yes, but in the time, I didn't even know about this university. But Dr. Lee, who used to own this university, passed away 2 years ago. Anyhow, make a short story. I came to, as an operator, as a worker, as an employee, to come to university here 2012 January, right? I wasn't the owner or anything like that. And I had a friend who came here. And then I find out this university is the first private university throughout to the United States, I should say, that observed and founder of the Oriental Master of Oriental Medicine. So, which means
Oh,
Dr. Lee, she was Korean American Chinese.
mhm.
He was born in China, Manchu, but
Right.
his family from Korea, but he came to
Career.
the States.
Hmm.
And then he was a very bright man back in 1970s. He
Hmm.
made this Oriental medicine program he adopted from Korea and China in the
Right.
title of a degree program, scientifically proven that it was, you can give out as legally. So I'm going to
Hmm.
tell you. So whatever that was, he did a wonderful added value to the acupuncturist because of
Right.
this program here, we had about 3,000 acupuncturists who got the license as the acupuncturist and they got their status from their country. Because when you're acupuncturist, I find out they can get green card easily because you're a doctor somehow.
Mhm.
And he has been had those about 3,000 Chinese, Korean, and maybe even Vietnamese and some Americans and
Right.
whoever that their acupuncturists are the come from this school and they got their startup and they have their own clinic and their life is possible. So I think he did a wonderful job, you know.
It is. It
And
is a
they,
beautiful, beautiful professional. So you it's just acupuncture that
yeah, we
you
have acupuncture and then we have business administration
hmm
and master degrees and we have what is it? We have a school of theology club
hmm
theology with a BA, and so we have a Bible studies, and we
right.
have we have like um theology seminary, like how do you we have how do you become a pastor? So
Right.
we have a training program, and we have a chapter here. We have a small chapter here in the school in the campus. So we do
It's
have
you
basically,
I am listening to you. I have to stop you because I'm listening to you and I getting so inspired because a woman that's arrived in this country in high school without knowing anything, without knowing English, now is talking about what you teach in the university. It's you are a legend.
oh my God,
So
that
much
humbles
inspiration.
so much. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I mean, we have faculties and professors. They're actually the one that who's teaching. I'm just the operator. I'm actually running the school with the board members here and five board members. So right now, we're starting all over again because we need to get we need to get credited from the U.S. higher education from the federal. So we're in process of getting all that application, getting approved. So fully approval will be another year. So that's what's happening. But we just love what we are doing because, luckily, as you know, education is the only good thing that we can actually wake up the people with a higher awareness of living the life of quantum live, right?
Yes. Yes. Wow, Christine. Thank you so much. So, for you that are listening to this beautiful episode today, we're gonna put the information of Christine's book, and I fully recommend you to read it. It's beautiful, it's inspiring, and also the university and anything that you would like to know more details and get in contact with Christine. Christine, after all this big, incredible journey, um, what is the biggest life lesson?
Um, So biggest lesson life is that do not ever and never, no matter what it is, give up. Never give up. You know why? Because I through this. I failed many times, and there were times I said, "Oh, I don't think I can do this." Then I got up again because that's my nature, right? And I have a more problem. Like I have faculty serious people. They lawsuit. I got lawsuit and one, two, three of them, and and all this adversity is like money, no money in the bank, I mean, over minus 2,000. You don't see the door or any exit where to turn for this, and then even sometimes your health isn't functioning, because you have so much stress and everything. You gonna just give up and leave peace, right? Something like that. Like sometimes you're not suicidal. I had that. But you know what? Life is good because
Yeah.
when you want to turn it over to the night, moving over with that dark tunnel, you will see the light of tunnel in the back there with the sunrise, with the
Yes, the sun is
you
always going
are
to
the winner.
rise.
The universe will tell you, you got it, you're the winner, here you go. And you don't even know where all these awesome opportunities and people and resources and all this, the money, you can imagine strange, marvelous things will come to your email box, to your phones, and your contact list, and you're the person. So ever never give up.
Oh
Thank
my God. Thank you so much. That was
thank you so
so,
much.
so, so inspiring. Thank you very much for being the show with us today, Christine.
I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. Lovely, lovely. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christine.